The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Viewpoint on 96.3 FM WLCN. Listener lines are open. If we have any golf questions, swim questions, tennis questions, we have the expert with us here, Jeff Peterson from the Lincoln Elks 914 Lodge and Golf Course. So thank you very much for making it here and coming.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. So tell our listeners a little bit about your history. You're not a native here in Central Illinois, are you?
I grew up in southwest Iowa, a small town called Corning, Iowa. Grew up on a little 9-hole golf course, par 33. Went to school, went to college graduated from Central College in Pell, Iowa. Didn't get in the golf business right away, and actually got in the banking business to start with. And I originally was going to get in the golf business, and I changed my mind. And then in 91, I had a friend of mine that was in the golf business, and he needed some help, and I'd always been kind of thinking about it in the back of my mind, and so I decided to pull the trigger and do it. So I went to work for him in 91, and that was in Cedar Falls, Iowa, and been in the golf business ever since.
And how long have you been with us here in Lincoln? Because I've known you for
I believe this is my
13th
season.
Or going on 13.
Yeah, came in 2012.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's neat.
So, yeah. So then I worked as an apprentice. I was 4 years in Cedar Falls at Beaver Hills Country Club. And then I was 4 years at Davenport Country Club in the Quad Cities. Then I was 1 year at Burlington Golf Club in Burlington, Iowa. And then got my first head pro job in 2000, and that was up in Door County, Wisconsin, at a golf course called Cherry Hills in Sturgeon Bay. Was there 4 years, and then came back to Iowa and was at in Oskaloosa, Iowa, at Edmondson Golf Course, and we were there for 8 years, and then the job came open in Lincoln. My wife is originally from Illinois. She's from Galesburg, and I actually after I graduated college, I lived in Illinois up in Streator for a while. So I still had some friends back this way, and she lived in Galesburg, and it looked like a nice opportunity, so we moved over here. And we've been here, like I said, since 2012. So
that's
been
wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. If some of our listeners have children or thinking about going into, your line of work or, even maintenance, what do you recommend? What do you suggest for them? Guide them? What's your recommendations for them?
Well, I think it's always a good idea to find someone that has a lot of experience and gain from their experience and get some information that way. The golf business is very rewarding. I think it's a lot of hours, a lot of work, especially in the summertime. But it is rewarding when you get to teach the kids and even adults and see them grow and seeing them get better at their game and that kind of stuff. So I enjoy running tournaments. I enjoy all aspects of it, but running tournaments is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. So not just from the pro shop side and and being a coach and giving lessons, to also being, I guess you could say, a turf master or what, for the greens, for maintaining those greens. That's a whole nother avenue there.
Yeah, that's a whole nother, that's not my side of expertise.
Right.
My side is golf operations, running tournaments, teaching, managing the facility. I do oversee the superintendent, but superintendents, they go to school for all the turf maintenance and understanding all the grasses and when to do certain things in different years or different times a year. It's a whole different field. So that's like I said, I oversee our superintendent, but I rely on him a lot because he knows what he's doing. So,
because we're watching. Well, I'll use the U.S. Open for example. It was downpour, and they said they went out there and they didn't have to sweep this and have to do this, and it's an art.
It is.
It truly is an art.
You have to know when to plant. You need to know, get that grass to grow, and when you put fertilizer on, put chemicals on, because if you don't put chemicals, early in the year, we had a lot of dandelions, and they were everywhere, not only at the golf course. And you got to spray for that. And you got to be careful when you spray. It can't be too windy and that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a lot that
and the right height of the grass to cut and wear.
Yep. If the rough gets too long, we hear about it. Yep. So. And the fairways, our fairways are bent grass fairways, so they're cut real short. Mm-hmm. And then you have your intermediate cut of rough, it's a little bit further, and then and just for instance, the greens, they go out and they cut fresh cups most days, mow the greens, roll the greens, so it's all a whole process. You got to do the bunkers and everything. So yeah,
so that's not the hat that you wear for that.
Well, no, like I said, I oversee and make sure everything's getting done, but no, that's. My hat is in the golf shop, around the golf course, managing the facility, yes.
So let's talk about Lincoln Elks. It is a beautiful course. I guess you could say I'm somewhat partial.
It is.
But nonetheless, you host several events besides, golf outings for people raising money for charity events. You now are also hosting ISA tournaments as well there. So kind of lead us into that.
Yeah, we've had, since I've been there, we've hosted the girls or boys sectional or regional every year. We've had some conference events as well. We've had the junior high sectional, the IESA sectional. This will be the third year we've hosted that. So, we try to do as much as we can for the high schools. When they come to me and ask if we can host, we're always more willing, very willing to do it. And it helps our local teams as well because, they're on their home course. So,
well, not just, that, but also the local economy, because usually roughly how many visitors, spectators do you even have there come there? I mean,
I wouldn't know. There's a lot. So, they come, and a lot of them will come, if the event's on a Tuesday, they're going to come Sunday, Monday, play practice rounds, spend the night. Yeah, so it does a lot for the community. You're right. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, tell us, if some our listeners are listening, we've got the Humane Society is going to have a golf outing. Dara has their golf outing there. There's numerous golf outings for charity events. Kind of lead us into that. How does that transpire, take place from start to finish?
Yeah, we have probably 12 to 15 outings throughout the year. Our outings we host those on Friday afternoons or anytime Friday, so Fridays or Mondays. And they're to raise money for different causes. And the first thing you need to do if you're interested in having one is get a hold of me and get a date scheduled, because being limited to when we can have them, Mondays and Fridays, there's not a lot of dates on there that are open. So, but we do have some open. So, first thing is get the date booked, and then the big thing is going out and getting your sponsors. You know, the more sponsors you can get, whole sponsors, that's where you're going to generate a lot of money. But once we get it set up, we try to make it as easy as everybody as we can. We take care of all the scorecards, the cart signs, bringing in the carts if needed. You know, all they really need to do is get people to sign up, check them in, and get their sponsors, and we take care of everything else. So it's a good way to raise some money, and everybody gets a good day on the golf course.
That's neat. That is wonderful. To golf there, do you know, some people have the persona, I gotta be a member of the Elks, but not per se, correct? You
Not
have
necessarily,
different
no. We have
times and dates?
Yeah, we have
non-members?
Yeah, the way it works at our facility is if you live outside of Logan County, you can come and pay a green fee, play every day if you wanted to. So we have a lot of play on a daily basis from Springfield, Decatur, Bloomington, Peoria. If you live in Lincoln or inside Logan County, we have three options. One is you can get a full activity package. The second would be you can do a punch card. And then the third is you can play on Logan County Mondays. Okay, Logan County Mondays, we open the course to anybody, to everyone, and the Mondays are usually pretty busy. Our punch cards are designed to kind of get people get their foot in the door. They can do that for 1 year. A punch card is 10 rounds. They get up to 2 cards in a year. It's our hope that after they do that for 1 year, they see what we have to offer and they get a full activity package the second year. And our full activity packages, they include full use of the golf course and the driving range, the pool, and the courts. And the courts would include pickleball and tennis. And it's, you know, the activity packages, we do have some 20% off for new members, which we've been doing for several years, and then 10% off the second year. So the first year you get 20% off, the second year 10% off.
Mm-hmm. Has membership gone up, starting to go up there at
Well,
the Elks?
yeah, it's, you know, since post-COVID, it's been taken off real well. Yeah. We were about at 196 prior to COVID. We've been running about 225. We're actually about 230, 235 the last couple years. This year, right now, we're about 220.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's you know, obviously we'd like to have a few more, but it's a good number. Are, you know, are younger members that are very active and play a lot of golf, which is great. So, you know, and our goal is not only to get them in the door, but once they get there, to keep them so they stay several years. So. And
that too. So we'll kind of be leading into kids and that. But I know we're going to do a commercial break, and we come back. We have Jeff Peterson with us from the Lincoln Elks 914.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Welcome back to 96.3 FM WLCN. 96.3, like I said, the listener lines are open, 217-648-5510. We have Jeff Peterson with us from the Lincoln Elks 914 Lodge and Golf Course. And any questions you may have, you want to pick his brain of who may be going to win the Travelers Championship coming up this weekend, to anything on how to fix that slice or that hook, he'll help you out there too as well. And I do know, let's kind of touch base on the pro shop real quick side of it. Mm-hmm. I'll use my personal experience. Reese needed new clubs. I sent them to you, and you took them out there. So we kind of explain that. If someone's needing new clubs, they do not know what to do.
Sure. It's very important now that you get fit for the correct clubs for you. Back years ago, you just go in and buy clubs off the rack. Those days are gone. So most pro shops, including mine, don't stock that many sets of irons. So when you get fit, you want to make sure that the club is the right length for you, the right lie angle, which is how the club sits on the ground and comes into the ball. And the important thing is make sure that the correct shaft is in there, because there's different flexes of shafts. We have a stiff, a regular, a mid, and there's also a senior flex. So depending on your swing speed and how much club head speed you generate, then you want to make sure you get the right shaft in the clubs, and that's very important. So I have the capability to fit irons, and I have a Mizuno fitting cart. We can fit off that for any brand of irons you want. I carry in the golf shop. We have Callaway, we have Titleist, Mizuno, TaylorMade, pretty much any brand you're looking for.
So you take them out on the range then?
Yeah, basically. We go up to the range and we hit some balls and kind of do a fitting and see what's get the right specs for everyone. Yep.
That's wonderful. So speaking of youth and kids, before we took the commercial break there, you do now have a junior PGA league there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's something that's really taken off for us. We started, this is the fourth year. The first year we had 9 kids, 9 juniors. The second year we had 29. The third year we had 29. This year we have 42. So
Wow.
it seems to be really taken off. It's an association with the PGA of America, and then we have in-house matches at our golf course where the kids play against each other, and then we also go to different locations for matches out of town. And so, in fact, tonight we have a match in Springfield at Bergen Golf Course against Springfield Park District. We just last week, or recently, we had a match up in Peoria at the Peoria Park District, and so then they haven't come down to the Elks yet, but they'll both come to the Elks as well, and we'll have matches there. So the kids love it. They get their own shirts with their the number they pick out and their names on the back. So our Elks team is doing very well. Last year we were undefeated. This year we played one match so far at Peoria and we won. So
Wonderful.
They're doing very well. Like I said, the kids love it. They have a good time. So it's
And the kids, the parents do not have to be a member, correct?
correct. No, they do not.
So
no, it's open to everyone. Yes.
So if the kids are kind of itching, to try something new, a sport, they can get involved.
And it's from ages 7 to 13. So, and the only requirement is that you have your own set of clubs. We have all skill levels. We have some juniors that are very good players, and some juniors that are just starting out. So
Neat. Sounds like a lot of fun.
it is.
So Lloyd had a couple of questions for us before
Yeah, I'm going to make a prediction, though. I believe in 5 years, Lincoln Community High School will be the state golf champion.
I hope so. Ciasio's listening. So
Yeah.
anyway, so
No, because
we're
we've
working
seen
on
it, I mean, like in the football program, for example, when they started the junior railer football program and kind of built that up and got the youth interested, that's translated to more success at the high school. And of course, they have the youth basketball, and basketball being so well, I would just kind of see the same sort of effect for golf now.
And the other thing is I'm trying to think how many years ago now, I think 3 years ago, well, no, it was right around COVID. I approached one of the junior highs about, have a junior high team. And there wasn't any junior high teams anywhere. And then COVID, and so we didn't do it in 2020, but we started it must have been in 21. And that was West Lincoln Broadwell was the first team to get a junior high team.
Actually, no.
And-
I am going to correct you. It was Carroll Catholic.
Okay.
We started with Reese actually in 2019.
Okay.
They started that. So yeah, because there wasn't a junior high.
Yeah, you were
was
the only one then.
Yeah,
because,
he was the only one, and so I started off as coach there. So then we brought on West Lincoln Broadwell the year after COVID, and it's ballooned and blossomed.
Yeah, and now West Lincoln's got a lot of kids.
They do. Lincoln
Chester East is. I met with their coach just here recently, and they've got over 20 kids.
They do.
And the junior high school. And between all those programs, and like I said, we've been hosting the junior high sectional the last 3 years. So you're right. Between all those programs, we hope and down the road that.
and get the in those ponds and rake them out? So, or do you just leave the balls in the ponds out
we
there?
have there is a guy that comes in, and we don't do it every year. Usually it's about every other year, but they come in and they scuba dive for balls, and then they pay us a dime per ball that they pull out of there. And what they do is they turn around and sell them. But that's their business. That's what they do. They go to golf courses and they do that. Yeah. And it's kind of a whole process. They have, the deep ponds, they will scuba dive, and they also have a net that they drag across there. And but yeah, we do that.
They were
is
asking,
done.
so
That is, it's not me that does it, but it is done.
On an average, I know it's a wild guess. On an average, since you're doing it every other year, how many balls have you seen pull out of there?
That's a good question.
A few.
Yeah,
Several.
I mean, I would say 5,000 at least.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we got 3 ponds,
True.
2, 15, and 18. So, yeah.
Just a few.
There's a lot of balls that are hit in there, especially on 15 and 2. Yeah.
So, yeah. So on 15, if people haven't been out there, it is a bigger pond. Is that the one they probably do scuba dive and go after? Or
Well,
are they able to rake that one?
No, they
net
they
it, I
rake
should
that
say.
one. I think they scuba dive pretty much. I mean, they'll go down in the water in all of them. But if like 15, I watched them one day. They did rake that, but they actually get down in there on all of them. They go down in there. So
Wow.
yeah, it's not something I'd want to do, but yeah, good question.
So if you're listening, there is your answer. So if somebody wants to rent the banquet hall, do they have to be a member there or not?
No, they can. Our banquet facilities are open to members and non-members. Yep, we have a member rate, which is a little bit reduced for our members, but then non-members can rent it as well. And
Thereabouts, how many does it might hold? A rough amount?
we can comfortably seat 120 in there.
Okay.
We can get more than that, but it can get a little cramped. And there is a bar there. If they want a bartender, we'll supply a bartender for them. Unfortunately, we don't have a restaurant right now. Since I've been here, we've leased the restaurant out, and there's no one in there right now. So if someone was to book the banquet room for an event, they would have to get their own caterer. But that's no problem at all. I mean, we'll be happy to work with them on that. We have some local caterers that do a lot of that. So. Drive-in movies, and we have one this 20th, and the kids will come out and the parents will come out, and we'll put up a screen and show a movie, and the kids will get in the pool and watch the movie, and they enjoy that. Yeah.
So neat. So it really is kind of a family.
Yeah, the pool gets, yesterday there was a lot of people at the pool. It was nice and hot. The pool gets a lot of use, and the facilities out there, are very nice. Like I said, we have a nice range. The golf shop.
And if somebody wants to, if they have their own golf cart, are they able, if they are golfing there, can they bring it? Do you allow that? What's the rule?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our
carts?
members have their own carts, and they pay a fee to have their carts on the course or on the grounds for the year. And then we also have a fleet of 41 golf cars that the club owns. And so our members that don't have their own carts will either lease those for the year or rent them on a daily basis. Most of them will do a cart lease, pay it up front, and they just walk in and we hand them a key and they go. But yeah, there's...
And you can store your carts
Yeah, we
out
have
there,
storage sheds. We have a limited number, but we do have a few open. And like I said, most people that live, around the area, in the neighborhood, a lot of them will have their own cart and just drive it over and keep it at home. And then people that don't live around the area, they'll store it at the golf course there. But yeah, so it's you have the opportunity to have your own cart out there.
Yeah. To know more about the Elks, so you can be a member there or not.
Yeah,
I mean, not per se, but I mean, you can try it out. It sounds like.
Yeah, just if you haven't been out, just come on out. I'd be happy to sit down and talk to anyone about what we have to offer. Like I said, it's we're not just a golf course. We do have a pool and courts and a banquet facility.
And you mentioned pickleball. People play pickleball there on the courts too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And the courts get quite a bit of use on certain days. So, and throughout the we have. For our membership, like I said, Logan County Mondays is on Mondays. Tuesday is our men's league. We have a men's league on Tuesday. Wednesday is our ladies' day, Wednesday morning. And then we have PGA Junior League on Wednesdays as well. Thursday evenings we have for our members, it's a scramble that a lot of guys come out and play in. And then the ladies have their Sunset League on Wednesday nights. On Thursday nights. And then, like I said, our outings are Fridays, and then on weekends, most of our weekends are open play, but we do have a few events on weekends. Our big tournament coming up in July is our two-man tournament, which is one of our bigger events. So there's always something going on. There's plenty for members to do, and I'd be happy to, anyone interested, be happy to sit down with them and go through anything, answer any questions they would have, and actually, if they've never played.
Well, Jeff, real quick, if they want to get a hold of you, how
I will also, if you want to send an email, you can email me at proshop or at comcast.net. If you want to find out anything about Lincoln Elks 914, you can go to our website, elks914.org.
Well, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And folks, thank you for tuning into Viewpoint. The Lord and weather willing, we'll be back next week.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.